Hello, everyone. Once again, I'm Bill Johnson, Athletic Director here at Talmadge City Schools. I'd like to welcome you to our spring sports meeting. Many of you have already seen our sports meetings. Some of you came in person in the fall. Others have seen our winter meeting, which most of these are going to be the same stuff. So if you had an athlete that played a fall or winter sport, you really don't need to continue to listen, except for just want to go over this first page with some information for you. Obviously, as we get into spring, we have some different coaches. So for baseball, our head coach is Kenny Lynn. For softball, our head coach is Brittany Lytle. For track, our head coach for both boys and girls is Mike Stradawa. And we have a new head coach for our tennis team this year, and that's Josh Gambo. If you need to get a hold of them, obviously they all have emails here at the school. You are welcome to get a hold of them in that aspect. They also use Remind and Final Forms as well. Our trainer is Lori Regalis, and our doctor is Jeff Bachtel. I just want to give a few words about our booster club. Obviously, they're still open to have membership and are looking for new members at all times. Our booster club president is Tara Jasko, and she wanted me to let you know that next Saturday, March 19th, is the reverse raffle. And if anybody is looking for something to do on Saturday night, please don't hesitate to contact the Booster Club and buy a ticket to the reverse raffle. And also, we have, like we said, membership is available. They're going to have the Spirit Hut available at the track meets, so you can able to get your Spirit gear there. And they have a lot of information going, a lot of new things going on. A lot of information is out there. You can visit their website and get anything you need about the Booster Club. Not going to take up a ton of your time, but I want to make sure that you know what all you have to have in so that your child can participate in sports. Obviously, they have to have a current physical. As all sports have already started, the athletes should not be competing if they do not have a current physical. You are probably getting updates on on Final Forms about whether things are running out of time and you need to re-up that and get your physical current. Also with emergency medical form and extracurricular code of conduct, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Authorization form from the OHSA for eligibility, concussion injury waiver, and your preseason meeting, which you're taking care of right now. Sudden cardiac arrest, which is your Lindsay's Law, and any school-specific forms that we have up there. So please be aware that you have to fill all that out, and we ask that the parents fill that out before their athletes compete, and then the athletes will also go in and sign as well on Final Forms. Athletic fees. High school sports are $75 per sport, $100 for individual cap, and $250 family cap. And middle school is $40 per sport, and $80 for an individual cap. Fees are non-refundable, and they will be going on to your Easy Pay account. Coaches will not be permitted to collect fees. They need to come directly to the athletic department or your Easy Pay account. Like we talked about, and I said I was going to talk about a little later, was our extracurricular code of conduct. Participation in these activities and in sports and extracurriculars is a privilege, and we ask them to follow a certain set of rules and guidelines. Each kid has read those guidelines and understands what they are, and make sure you review them as well so you understand what we're asking out of our student athletes. Eligibility for spring will be based off of the third quarter, which closes this Friday, March 11th. We will be checking grades next week and going through to make sure that all kids are eligible. You have to have a GPA of at least 1.25, and you cannot receive 2 Fs in any grading period. So again, this will go off the third grading period for spring sports. Fall sports will be going off of the fourth grading period. So as we enter into this new grading period, please let your athletes know that if they plan on playing a fall sport at the high school or middle school level, that their grade point average for the fourth quarter is what is their eligibility is based on. Absences, it's been really good this year. We need kids to be at school for them to participate in athletics. So we're asking that they be here all day on games and scrimmages and practices. Obviously, there's exceptions. If you have a question on any of it, please just contact myself or Mr. Householder. Um, if there's any question on whether or not they should be able to come or compete in games and practices, and we will let you know if we can work through that. COVID guidance. We are hoping, and I'm knocking on wood, that we are moving away from this. But just for now, and over the last 2 months, we haven't really had any of these issues. As we move outside for our spring sports, I feel like that will remain the case. But we do have a test to play guidance in play. So if it's your son or daughter's determined to close contact, you will be able to test within 24 hours of notification. And if it's negative, you can resume all normal activities that you normally would. Then they'll be asked to take a second test on day 5. So that's just where we're at with the COVID-19 guidance, and we are hoping that we continue in the right direction, and we are trending in the right direction and have been for the past 2 months, 3 months. And I feel like that we will continue to go that way. Just some miscellaneous information for you. If you or if your son or daughter needs to not ride the bus, we ask that they ride the bus as much as they possibly can to and from events. But if there's a reason that they cannot, there is a transportation slip, and I will be emailing this out to everybody, but it's also on our website under the More document on talmadgeathletics.org. So you can print that out and send that in to us, and we will approve that. Student medical form is if you're staying overnight for a contest or a tournament, which I know some of our spring sports are, and they need to have medicine because you're not there, please fill out this medication form so we can have that information and get that taken care of for when they go out of town. Spring sports is probably our worst when it comes to cancellation of events. I will do my best to get that information out through final forms on our athletics website and on Twitter as soon as we have that information available. And I know our coaches will do a good job of always getting that out. I think a lot of them use Remind or whatever app they use to get that information to you. So be aware that sometimes decisions are made late depending on what the weather is for the day. We will get that information out as quickly as we possibly can. Individual player banners are organized by teams themselves, and the cost is on the teams or the parents. Tickets for spring events, we really don't charge. If there's schools that do charge for stuff and I get that information, I will send that out to you via final forms, as we've done all year long. We will be charging one time for our track invitational as well as our league track meet. So be aware of that, as well as if our baseball team ever plays away from our venue, there's a chance that there is a price to get in. So for the most part, spring doesn't have that, so it's not too much to worry about. Our protocol for parent concerns: if you have a concern regarding your son or daughter, I ask that you contact the head coach first. I ask that the athlete themselves talk to the head coach, and then if that doesn't work, then you contact them. And if that doesn't go well, or you don't get the answers that you're looking for, or you feel like we need to have a different conversation, you can feel free to contact me. Gladly sit down and have a conversation with you. The only thing I do ask is that if you're having an issue with something that happened in a game or whatnot, that you do please respect that 24-hour rule, because emotions get high on both the coach's side and the parent's side. So if you could respect that 24-hour rule, it would really be appreciated. We're asking for sportsmanship. We understand that there are times when officials and umpires and referees aren't always making good calls. And the problem is right now we are at a severe shortage of referees and officials. And we need to really do a good job of trying to keep officials around. And when they're constantly hounded, they don't want to come back. And even bad officials are better than no officials at all, because with no officials, we won't be able to play these games. So we're just asking that you have good sportsmanship, cheer on good plays, cheer on both teams, just have some mutual respect. If you have any questions, concerns, please feel free to contact me via email. This is my office number on here. You can check that out. Middle school is contact would be Mrs. Hussing. There's her contact information. I'm trying to get all the information out on the website, so check that out. Everything from the website goes to my Twitter account, and then there is a remind page you can join. And I do a lot of stuff through Final Forms, so you'll be getting emails through Final Forms as well. If you haven't had a son or daughter play a sport yet this year, you'll be getting information through Final Forms. If you have any questions, any concerns, please feel free to contact me. And other than that, I hope it's a great spring season. We're looking forward to getting outside, getting this weather to turn around, and looking forward to watching a lot of good Blue Devil athletics. Thanks a lot.